my name is Chris and welcome to my channel, and today I have my really good friend Wa with me. Say hi, Wa.
Hi!
And we are here for part 2 of the latest episode of The Bachelorette with Becca, honey. These are the hometown dates we're talking about.
And if you want to see part 1, please go back to my channel and check it out. It'll be linked up above somewhere around here. And you can see what we thought about Garrett and what we thought about Jason.
Yeah, those are the people that were the first 2 hometown dates. And how we thought about Becca the whole time. And guess what? Spoiler alert, it's shitty. We hate her.
For your people coming over to this part too, you know, Wa does things like editing, where she like would put like a person's like picture up and like remind you who that person is and stuff like that. And like,
you're not gonna get that in this episode, honey, because
I'm gonna be editing this one.
Actually, it's good because I think that it'll make your subscribers just appreciate you more and the work you do, you know.
The Lord's work. First, we are starting with Blake.
Blake takes her to his high school, which we already know there's some drama happening in this high school, and then it ends up being there was even more drama at this high school and in a horrible, tragic way, but we'll get into it. Blake has very fluffy hair, and then he shows Becca a picture of what he looked like in high school, and it was even fluffier hair, but this time with blonde streaks.
His head is just so geometric.
I never thought he was attractive until this date, and then I kind of was like,
I've always thought he was cute.
Wait, will you remind us of what his parents' story is before we go into his parents?
Remember his parents' story where it turns out that
his mother was having an affair with his high school basketball / English teacher while he was 16 or 17 years old.
And then
they didn't really talk about it in their family, so he got told about it by classmates. And when his mother moved out to go live with her new beau,
again, an acquaintance comes up to him and tells him,
"Oh, your mom is moving in with such and such on Saturday."
He's like,
what?
He had no idea his mom was moving out of the house.
So that is the drama we are going into. And I can tell you right now, the moment I saw his mother, I A, knew where he got that head from, and B, just wanted to know everything about her life.
Fuck after the rose. I need like, after that divorce, honey, let's talk about it, what happened.
Tell
like,
us.
She has that fluffy hair, and then just like,
not a top lip to be seen.
This is her mouth talking. A lot of tragic things happened to him specifically at this high school. We talked about his family, but then, my God, God bless, he also had like a school shooting episode happen.
Here's the thing about it, like, if this was me and those 2 things, the breakup of my family and this time that like I almost watched everyone get killed happen in this place, I would never go back. I would be like, I don't even go back to my high school now, and the worst thing that happened was I wasn't that popular.
I would never touch that place, that hell place again, but like that's where he takes her. Okay, so let's move on to by far the juiciest date, honey. Pull up your sleeves, honey. Roll up your pants, because we're getting in, we're making wine of Colton's date. Virginic.
Virginistic.
Colton. So we start off by going to, and you know I was obsessed with this in the very beginning, his cystic fibrosis charity.
It's not fibromyalgia?
No, I'm 89% sure it's cystic fibrosis, honey, which ends up being 2 kids in the ward of a hospital where somehow there's also arcade games and like the ability to like Jackson Pollock paint in one big montage. What?
I hated it. It was so pandering. And when she ran to jump on him, like her leg came over like a ninja after his fucking midsection, and I just was like, I hated it from the very jump. Like the jump.
Becca is obnoxious. These are a few of her favorite things: jumping on guys, short boots, black sequins gowns.
I hated this whole thing. Like, I thought they were going to be around a lot of kids. It just felt so set up, and like, the kids were cute, but I just did not like it. It was just like we were just watching him be a good guy, and I was just, I called BS. I just called BS on that.
Also, like, I loved you so much, Colton, but literally is like your budget $40 a year, and what you do is you just go buy like 2 unicorn horns and like visit a hospital. Like, what are you doing to like, I don't know.
Find a cure.
Okay, here's the thing. Like, is it cute? Yes. Is it like obvious and contrived? Yes. By the way, Becca doesn't even really try to like be that cool with the kids. She's not even like that warm with them in a way where she like, you can tell genuinely in that moment try to connect to those children.
She's just so cold. She's just so robotic and like conscious of herself at every moment and how she's looking and like how she's sounding, and it's so hard to watch.
I guess they're like, oh, you know, after watching with those kids, I could really see, you know, us having kids together. And I'm like, just because you're good with kids, just because you're good with playing around with kids for like a couple hours doesn't make make you a good parent or mean that you will be a good parent. Like, what is y'all talking about?
If you care about what Colton's gonna be like as a dad, what you really should be doing is just looking at his dad, because that is a hot ass dad.
Like, that is a hot daddy.
Colton's dad
Jesus
is
Christ. If you want to know how Colton's gonna age, look at that daddy.
and that's a zaddy.
Oh my God. I was like, yes.
I mean that like huge ass cross. I'll take it. That's
Oh my God.
fine.
Yeah. It was like, he was just really masculine and like not a virgin and just everything that I want.
That person has.
That person gets it in and has gotten it in and has been doing it for a long time.
I mean,
He's doing it and doing it well.
I can tell by the mom that she's happy about it. Like, she and those chunky streaks, honey. Do you
Yeah.
see those chunky
And she's trying to keep it
streaks?
together too, because like, I'm just like looking at her and I'm like, you could do a little more, but she's definitely trying to keep up with her husband.
Yeah, which is fine. And I think that like where they live, that's 100%. A lot of scenes happen in this household and we have to break each one down. So the first thing that happens is that Colton's dad talks to Becca, and just like we were saying in the first part one, Becca has entered each one of these houses on the offense. Like, she is like, no, what are you giving me in this situation? Like, she is like not about to answer a question like warmly or try and like make it seem like she cares about their opinion of her at all. Becca cares about her, number one, what she wants, period, the end. So she like goes in this conversation with the dad, and it's like very Game of Thrones. They all were talking about Tia, except they make it seem like Tia was just a one-night thing, but like, why would we keep talking about, like, why do her parents know about Tia if he's a virgin, and like, they only spent like one hanging out afternoon together?
Yeah, Colton completely says that Tia was just like a one weekend situation and that it tried and it fizzled out and it died. Like, that was what he said to her. Then we get to the hometowns and the family's talking about Tia like they got her on speed dial and they're wondering when she's gonna come to dinner next.
Yeah, and they like Tia.
Yeah. In fact, the dad is like, don't pick him because we want him to be with Tia.
The dad is just like, he's a virgin, and like, what are you gonna do with that? And she's just like,
maybe something.
Something with it.
We'll see what I do with it.
What I'm gonna do.
and he's like, yeah, don't pick him if you don't love him or whatever. And she's just like,
Great, I won't.
Duly noted.
then a mom scene happens with Colton, okay? And this mom scene with Colton, honey, is shot in a way where it makes them look like they're on a date together. They are so close, and it's like up shots, and it's like, she's just like, well, have you told her? Have you told Becca about your virginity? And he's like, yeah. That's good. Like, it is like, what Oedipus Rex situation are you trying to make us feel? Like, hot dad, Oedipus Rex mom, or something, and him, like, virgin, but like virgin not till a wedding day, virgin until he just decides.
what happened to the girl that he was with for like a year, his ex-girlfriend? Like, he just never thought that it was right to have sex with her ever? Were they long distance? Like, give us some context here.
Let's get a phone call to her, just like we wanted a phone call to Garrett's ex-wife. We want to have Colton's ex-girlfriend and Garrett's ex-wife to sit on a goddamn couch and answer some goddamn questions.
We have questions.
And Blake's mother and her beau. So many people. These are the people we need to talk to and get their insides, not Becca. A very sensual conversation happens between Colton and his mom, where like he says that he's in love with her and she's like over the moon about it for some reason or something like that. Who knows? And then
The date ends well. They go outside,
Yeah.
they make out, and he puts her in the Tahoe, and she goes about her business. You know?
yeah.
Now,
Hmm.
this next scene,
Oh,
the Level Hotel, as they want us to know where they're at, and Becca is pretending
Level
to put
down.
on makeup, and even though she already has full face on, like full face contour and everything, and she's pretending to put on more blush and more mascara, because that's what you do. Put on several thousand layers of mascara over your already false eyelashes.
Read.
It turns out that she's going to meet some of her best friends in
Honey.
the whole world. I don't know if she just doesn't have any friends in
Nope.
real life until
Mhm.
all of these other former contestants on The
Formula.
Bachelor, all of these former contestants on The Bachelor are her best friend in the whole world. And, you know, best friends, as best friends do, sit around and talk, you know, in a group.
Okay, first of all, you know all these girls hate her. Absolutely, because they're not even friends. But more than that, they all want to be the Bachelorette. So like the fact that Becca is, and she, you know that I hate Becca's personality, and I have never spent one moment with her, and these girls have. So these girls literally detest her and want to rip her apart. And they have to sit there while Becca's like, so then this one loves me, and we went on this date, and then this one loves me,
And they're
then
all
we went
like-
on this date. And they're just like, they're like that. Meanwhile, they edit in sounds of them being like, wow, and moving and like, that didn't happen. And then they show Tia's face because every time Becca talks about Colton, and of course Becca like couldn't wait to be like, well, Colton is absolutely in love with me, blink, blink.
Tia's face is just seething. Seething.
So, honey, Tia is going through it, and then she literally stops Becca, and she's like, I can't, stop! Don't say one word! Can we talk?
Yeah.
Honey,
Yeah,
she gets up, yes.
Let's go talk.
Gets up, she's wearing, like, the wallpaper of the Beverly Hills Hotel.
And they go outside, and then Tia's like, it's so great to hear about your love with all of these guys. I didn't think it was going to bother me, but hearing you talk about Colton is really hard, and I wasn't expecting it.
And it literally makes me sick to my stomach.
And then all I'm thinking is, okay, sorry.
Which is what Becca's thinking.
Like, who the fuck cares? I'm sorry that you feel that way, but unfortunately he does not like you. He likes me, and I'm sorry that this is what it is. But maybe you should have a conversation with him, or maybe you should have said something earlier.
But also don't text my boo, because now it's mine. Yeah.
Like, that's just like not my problem. So I don't know what you're gonna do about your problem, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and sleep with him in the fantasy suite. So we're led to believe that that's the reason why she may or may not have cut him. Surprise alert at the end at the rose ceremony. He walks up the stairs, he shakes hands with Chris Harrison and asks him advice on what he should do when he goes into the fantasy suite with her.
Talk to your dad.
Yeah,
Your
talk
dad
to
knows.
your dad.
Also,
Come on.
like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, have you not seen the show? ABC obviously doesn't film what happens in the fantasy suite. And obviously in your contract, you didn't sign that you have to have sex in the fantasy suite. So, like, yeah, at one point, you can either say yes to a card and just be like, but we're not going to have sex. We're just going to spend some time together without cameras and talk. Or say whatever you want to say and do whatever you want to do in that fantasy suite.
Or
That's
just go
what
down
everyone
on each
does.
other. Yeah, to get oral sex.
Yeah, you telling me you had a girlfriend for 2 years, you didn't like at least gene jam a little bit, or like that finger didn't find its way in a situation or something, there's things you can do.
So she ends up picking at the very end Garrett, Blake because she had to, he would kill her otherwise, and then Jason. So they're gonna go to Thailand afterwards. Is it me or
Yeah, let's talk about it. When she's like, the most magical place on earth we're gonna go to. And I was watching with my friend Natwa, and I was like, oh, I thought they were gonna say Paris. And my friend was like, I thought I was gonna say Disneyland. And what did you think they were gonna say?
I thought they were gonna say like some beautiful Greek island.
Okay, yeah.
Why hasn't Becca left the country earlier? I felt like Rachel was in Europe or in a non-American space for like 4 weeks.
Yes.
And it feels like Becca is just now going to Thailand.
I think that they cut the season's budget in half. And that is the only, in my mind, way that I can justify the repeat dates in cities that are like not expensive to go to, and like 2 flights on Southwest in the like continental USA. And then when they go to Blake's, their like musical act, he's like, open the doors and we see pink, okay? To me, it is pink. And then I get closer and I look at her and I'm like, pink looks different. And then I'm like, pink sounds different than I remember pink sounding. And then I look even closer, and then they have to say someone's name for me to realize it's not pink. And then it's
Betty who?
Betty who? Literally. Who are you? So then we're at the rose ceremony, and it's like, which of these guys is she not going to pick? Then it's between Colton and Garrett.
Yeah, because it was a shocker. Jason was the one I didn't expect to get on.
Right, we're like, Jason, what, is this not your time to go home? Like, we thought it was, especially with that conversation with the mom. But then she ends up sending Colton home, honey. And Colton, like, and her have to talk about it, and he's like, but the kids, and
those
she's
kids
like,
we played with, I thought that's made
I don't
you
care about those
see
kids.
that I am the best.
I'm back and I don't care about those kids.
And then Colton has to, like, run down a blue paved, like, bunch of stairs. And it reminded me of, like, Cinderella a little bit. Like, it was like Cinderella, and I thought that he should lose a shoe. His, like, carriage was about to turn into a pumpkin, honey, and he like runs down those blue stairs, you know, just like, no.
And then the very, very next scene is him in paradise. So like we already knew that was happening.
With Wills.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you my idea of a paradise, honey. It's Will's and Colton's dad. So anyway, next week, we'll see what happens. Becca's happy she doesn't have to talk to anyone else but the guys. And then herself in the mirror. And sometimes Chris Harrison. I sometimes think that all the Bachelorettes like secretly wish that Chris Harrison would fall in love with him. And like that was like the true prize. Because Chris Harrison is like so debonair and so rich. All right, well, we did it. Part 1, Part 2 on both of our channels. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is my friend Wah. Please go to her channel, which is, I mean, I'm like not sending anyone to your channel. You're sending all people to my channel. But for any reason, if you came to my channel and don't know Wah, go to her channel. She's amazing. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I have no followers. I'm at Chris Farah. The L is for luxury. I'll be back next week because, you know, I'm like committed this season, even though I hate every moment of it and I hate her so much and I can't make that plain enough for you. But thank you so much for watching and I appreciate it. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.